Hey guys, it's Shadow Arty here, and I am back with another 6th Gen Wi-Fi battle. And as you can see today, I finally got Pokemon ORAS, so that's going to be really exciting. We're going to see a bunch of new Mega Evolutions, and I actually got a UU match today against Army Noodle, I think his name is. Yeah, Army Noodle, and this was a really fun match. So let's look at the team preview. So I got a Choice Scarf Hydreigon. Now it's a modest nature, so I have to be careful. It does outspeed almost everything on his team except that Salamence, because if his Salamence is Choice Scarf, then he outspeeds me because I'm a modest nature, and even if he's modest, the base speed of Salamence is not much faster, but just a tiny bit faster than Hydreigon. So that Salamence is definitely going to be a threat. And my next Pokemon is a Linoone. This is actually the really standard Belly Drum Extreme Speed Linoone. It is really good. I really recommend you guys use this. And my next Pokemon is a Choice Banded Flower Gator. That's right, Choice Banded, not Dragon Dance. I am using a Choice Banded Sheer Force Flower Gator just to catch my opponent off guard. My next Pokemon is a Mega Evolution, and that's my Beedrill, so that's going to be really exciting to watch. And my next Pokemon is a Specially Defensive Roserade. I use this a lot in Wi-Fi battles. This is like one of my go-to walls, Specially Defensive walls. And my last Pokemon is my Stealth Rocker, also my defensive wall, and that's the Donphan. Looking at his team, he's got a Flower Gator. I'm gonna assume that it's Dragon Dance because that's the most standard set I see most of the time. Like I said before, Salamence is always a threat because if it's Choice Scarf, then it outspeeds my Hydreigon, and that's not going to be fun at all for me. His next Pokemon is a Houndoom, and I'm going to assume this is his Mega Evolution because since this is a UU match, Mega Houndoom is UU. Mega Houndoom is UU, so Salamence definitely cannot be his Mega Evolution. His next Pokemon is a Jellicent, and this is going to be a very tough wall to take down because it blocks my Donphan's Rapid Spinning, so that definitely could be a problem. He's also got a Crobat, which could be a sweeper, or it could be like a more defensive one with Defog, so I definitely have to watch out for that. And Registeel is always going to be a problem because they're always so bulky and they're always really tough to take down. So that's going to be really interesting. The Registeel has really good special defense and physical defense, so it's definitely going to be really tough to take down. Really, my only Pokemon that can take it out is my Choice Scarf Hydreigon with the Fire Blast, but I'm pretty sure even that isn't a one-hit KO. So let's see how this match goes. So I actually decided to lead off with my Hydreigon because it's really my best lead. It's really my best lead to lead off with because even if I have a bad matchup, all I could do is just U-turn out with my Hydreigon. So it's really not the worst situation. As he's going to lead off with that really shiny Registeel. Look at that sprite. It looks absolutely amazing. And I actually decided to go for the Fire Blast first turn. Really, why not? Because I want to deal as much damage as possible if he sets up rocks, but then he surprises me and shows me to protect. So that's going to be a little scary. So now I'm going to make a really gutsy play now. I actually decided to go into my Linoone, predicting the Jellicent to come in, as actually my Linoone carries the Shadow Claw. So that's going to be really interesting. He actually decides to go into the Jellicent anyway, and I actually do not want to take a burn, so I'm actually going to bring in my Roserade once again. And since my Roserade has Natural Cure, even if I get burnt, it's really not going to matter too much because Natural Cure, once again, if you switch out, then your status goes away. So that's going to be really awesome. And this turn, I'm really free to just go for a Leech Seed or a Sleep Powder or anything that wants to take this next hit. I actually decided to go for the Leech Seed, I believe. Yes, I do. And unfortunately for me, I end up missing. So that's what I get for bringing in moves that miss. So that's going to be a little unfortunate. Again, I don't want to stay in against this Crobat, take a potential air type attack, potential flying type attack. So I actually decided to bring in my Donphan now because I can take any physical hit a Crobat wants to go for. He actually decides to go for the Brave Bird, and I know I can take this relatively well. And now I pretty much have a free turn to set up my rocks. And if he goes for Defog, I'm completely fine with that because really I could also be an offensive Donphan. He doesn't know that, and that's really something I can keep in the back of my head. So I actually decided to go for the Stealth Rock. He makes an amazing play and goes for the taunt. Really nice play on my opponent's part. I was not expecting that at all. Most people don't even run taunt on a Crobat. So really good props to my opponent there. So right now he's gonna predict the switch and he's gonna go into the Flower Gator, as I actually decide to switch and go into my my own Flower. Actually no, I go into my Hydreigon. And I don't want to take a potential Ice Punch, so I actually decided to just U-turn out. I'm Choice Scarf, so I know I can outspeed. Even if he goes for Aqua Jet, I resist the hit, so I'm really not going to care too much at all. I actually decided to bring in my Roserade now because really I resist. He goes for Ice Punch. It's going to do a pretty good amount. Probably not my best play there. I don't even know why I brought in Roserade. I thought he might go for the Aqua Jet. That's going to be really unfortunate there, so my Roserade does go down relatively early. My special defensive wall is down. I actually decided to go into my Flower Gator because I can take any hit he really wants to go for. I actually decided to just go for the Crunch as he ends up going for the Dragon Dance, and that's completely fine by me because, like I said, Flower Gators are actually pretty bulky, and I do carry a Linoone anyway with extreme speed, so I'm not really too worried. He actually decides to go for the Crunch. I actually know I could take that because I actually do carry some HP investment in IV, so I can just actually go for my own Crunch, take him out, and that's a dead Flower Gator. So my Flower Gator really had the matchup there. I was Choice Banded, even though he outsped me, even though he was at +1, it still wasn't enough to take me out. So now he decides to bring in the Salamence, and I'm really not sure what to expect for the Salamence. It could be a mixed men's, it could be a mixed men's, it could be a choice men's. I don't even know. He actually decides to go for the Dragon Claw, and I really, like I said, I bring in my Donphan now, really just to scout out what the Salamence wants to go for. If he carries Hydro Pump and he's a mixed men's, I'm fine with that. He actually goes for Dragon Claw again, so that pretty much makes me think that he's definitely choice in some way. I just have to know if he's Banded or Scarf, but based on that damage, I definitely want to say that he's Scarf, because that really doesn't do too much. So I actually decided to just take this turn to just set up my rocks. I actually decided to go for the Ice Shard now, and since it's 4 times effective, it should do a decent amount of damage. It does maybe about like 50%. I'm not quite sure. He actually decides to just keep spamming Dragon Claw, and I live it with 16 HP. Now, I actually decided to make a pretty ballsy play right now. I actually decided to, what do I decide to go for? I believe I decide to pull a switch, as he actually decides to bring in the Registeel. That's right, I think I did predict this. I actually, what's it called? I actually decide to, I decide to switch my Donphan and actually decide to go into the Hydreigon, predicting the Registeel to come in. So really, really good play on my part, and now I can pretty much go for a Fire Blast. If he wants to bring in the Jellicent, I'm completely fine with that. If he wants to protect, to scout what I'm going for, I'm completely fine with that as well. He actually decides to stay in and take this damage. It does maybe about 75%. He really wanted to get that Thunder Wave off. That's going to be a little unfortunate because that is going to slow down my Hydreigon. It's not the worst situation in the world because Hydreigon still outspeeds the Registeel anyway, because Registeels are really, really slow. So he actually decides to go for the Stealth Rock now. I'm completely fine with that because I can pretty much kill this Registeel as long as I don't get paralyzed. I don't get paralyzed, and I can just take out this Registeel with a Fire Blast, and that's a dead Registeel. And now he pretty much knows that I'm choice. I mean, it was really obvious. I just kept spamming the Fire Blast. He actually decides to bring in the Salamence now. Decides to bring in the Salamence. Kind of, I don't really understand why. He probably should have just brought in the Jellicent. I actually just decided to stay in and just see if I could take this Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, I do not, and I'm pretty sure he's still Scarf, though. He does get the Moxie boost. Again, I still have my Linoone. I have my Linoone, so I'm not really that scared. I can go for the extreme speed, but I'm actually going to make a pretty ballsy play once again. I'm actually going to go for the Belly Drum, predicting the switch. I knew that he probably wouldn't go for Dragon Claw because he didn't want his Salamence to go down. So I actually decided to go for the Belly Drum, predict that quite nicely. And I do carry Shadow Claw on my Linoone. I don't think that's common because most people actually run the Seed Bomb for the water types. But actually, I run Shadow Claw instead of Seed Bomb for the Ghost type, specifically for this situation. Well, not really this situation, more of situations where, like, if a person has a Gengar or a Frostlass or a Chandelure, Pokemon that resist the Seed Bomb, but, like, don't resist the Shadow Claw. So I actually decided to run the Shadow Claw just to catch them off guard. And since Jellicent does resist the extreme speed, this is really going to cost him, because now I can just go for the extreme speed, take out the Crobat, and even with Rocky Helmet damage, it really isn't going to matter. He's really can't do anything to me now that his Jellicent is dead, because if his Jellicent was alive, he probably could have Will-O-Wisped me. However, I do carry extreme speed and Shadow Claw, and since Jellicent is so slow, there's no way that it could outspeed me and get a Will-O-Wisp off before I can hit him with the Shadow Claw. So that Jellicent does go down. I pretty much have this match in the bag, because really all I have to do now, he does have Mega Houndoom. Even with Sucker Punch, it's not going to matter because extreme speed has higher priority than Sucker Punch. That's going to take out this Mega Houndoom. And now his last Pokemon is, I believe this is his last Pokemon, which is the Salamence. And if it doesn't die to Rocks, then I could just take it out with the extreme speed. However, it just dies to Rocks. And that is going to be a 4-0 victory in my favor. So Linoone did work there. I kind of wanted to use Mega Beedrill in this match. I didn't even get a chance, but that's not going to matter too much at all anyway. Linoone gets the sweep there, so that's going to be really, really awesome. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this match. If you did, definitely leave a like, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.